Fry accidentally found a lucky 7-leaf clover hidden in the grass and wore it around his wrist. Once unable to hit any target, he suddenly became a sharpshooter. At the neighborhood breakdancing competition, Fry placed the clover on his head and pulled off a 7-speed headspin effortlessly, winning first place outright. His brother Yancey was overcome with jealousy and tried to steal the lucky clover from Fry, who had no choice but to hide it inside a vinyl record and lock it in a safe. 1,000 years later, without the lucky clover, Fry became extremely unlucky at horse racing. Every horse he bet on ended up winning, while Bender made a fortune every time. Soon, Fry was left with only $1, and even that was blown away by the wind, getting tangled in power lines. Fry climbed up to retrieve his dollar but was shocked by an exposed wire. To make matters worse, he was even struck by lightning. Back at the company, Fry was dejected, but he soon remembered his lucky clover and decided to get it back. Fry, Bender, and Leela lifted the manhole cover, but the unlucky Fry fell in immediately. Fortunately, they managed to find Fry's old house. However, when Bender helped him open the safe, the clover was gone. Fry was certain his brother Yancey had stolen it, and sure enough, he soon discovered a statue of his brother, with Fry's lucky clover pinned to its collar. What's worse, Yancey had even stolen Fry's name and lived a wealthy life in his place. Upon returning, Fry told his colleagues what had happened. The professor looked up Yancey's records and found that he had become a famous astronaut, philanthropist, and entrepreneur, the first person to step on Mars. He had also won the lottery jackpot, bought a mansion, and discovered an oil reserve on the property. Thanks to the lucky clover, Yancey met and married the most beautiful supermodel. He even formed a band on a whim and scored a top 10 hit. What was more irritating was that the band's musical style was entirely plagiarized from Fry. In the end, Yancey and the lucky clover were buried in a national cemetery. Fry was filled with anger. This should have been his life, so he set out to rob the grave with Bender and Leela. At the cemetery, Fry accidentally knocked into a tombstone and found some hidden inscriptions. Here lies Philip Fry, named in honor of Uncle Fry, carrying on Uncle Fry's spirit. Only then did Fry understand the truth. 1,000 years earlier, Yancey had gone to the basement to find documents for his wedding preparations. He'd secretly kept Fry's drawings, and later found the 7-leaf clover in the safe. After Yancey had a child, he gave the clover to the baby and even named him Fry in memory of his brother. It turned out Fry's life had never been stolen. On the contrary, his brother had always carefully guarded everything that belonged to him. In the end, Fry realized just how much his brother had missed him.